It seems Apple's iPhone 17 launch is what shaped a lot of Samsung's decision-making for the Galaxy S26 series. Google just launched one of the coolest approaches to Agentic AI that I've seen so far. Samsung's Galaxy Z Flip8 is reportedly bringing the changes we were actually asking for since the Flip 7. Apple's iPhone 18 series is reportedly following some tradition, all while fixing certain aspects of the Pro series. And yes, we finally get some interesting details on Samsung's Galaxy Trifold. I'm Jaime Rivera, and if you haven't subscribed to our podcast with Josh, would love to see you there, as episode 2 is scheduled for tomorrow, and we had a ton of fun doing it. For now, we've got these 5 interesting topics. This is Tech Briefing powered by MediaTek. The official news today begin with Google because it seems the company has figured out a creative way to roll out Agentic AI. Episode 2 of our Technically There podcast is all about what makes Agentic AI special, so make sure you have a look at it for additional context. Thing is, Google is rolling out a wave of new shopping features for the holidays centered on a pretty useful way to spare you the drama of having to keep up with deals and everything else. AI mode now lets you simply describe what you want in natural language, like asking for a timeless light sweater for a trip to Atlanta, for example, and it will factor in things as local weather, the style requirements automatically. The results appear in organized shoppable cards with prices, reviews, inventory details, and even AI-generated comparison tables. But then it gets better. Google Search is adding a new Let Google Call option for near-me product searches. Here, AI will call local stores on your behalf to check for availability, pricing, and promos, then summarize the store responses via email or text. It's powered by Duplex, with Gemini helping choose which stores to contact and what questions to ask. And what if you've been wanting to buy a product until it gets on sale? Well, there's Google's Agentic checkout system. Once a tracked item hits your preferred price range, you'll get a Buy For Me prompt, letting Google automatically purchase the item using your payment and shipping preferences. The features sound pretty genius, but I'm curious to know what you think about all this in the comments. Now let's switch to Samsung for the first of a few segments as we finally get some credible reports on the company's trifold. Evan Blass, who continues to shine in the leak world, has revealed what seems to be confirmed details about some of the specifications to expect. According to Blass, the device will feature a 6.5-inch cover display capable of reaching a peak brightness of 2600 nits. When unfolded, it reveals a massive 10-inch display that hits up to 1600 nits, giving users a tablet-like experience while maintaining a foldable form factor. Now, powering the device is expected to be a Snapdragon chipset, though we're only going to speculate this is the ALE Gen 5 paired with what might be a smaller than average battery at 5,437 milliamp hours compared to every other tablet out there. We also hear of a 200 megapixel main camera, so yeah, there is a lot of Z Fold 7 on this device. Now, Blass also shared information about the device's construction. The 3 display panels vary in thickness from 3.9 millimeters to 4.2 millimeters, which results in a folded device roughly 12.1 millimeters thick. This would make it slightly thinner than Huawei's 12.8mm trifold, but still odd if you consider the variations in symmetry. While these details give a cleaner idea of what to expect, wouldn't it be great if Samsung just made all this official after the behind-the-glass teaser we got? Current rumors point to December 5th for launch in Korea, with pricing estimated around $3,000, making it one of the most premium devices you could buy out there, not just from Samsung. What would you think about buying this product? I'm curious to know what you think in the comments. And speaking of foldables, let's continue with Samsung, but now with what the company is planning for the Z Flip. I mean, the Z Flip 7 was nice and all, with a larger outer screen, a wider aspect ratio, and a sort of a slimmer body, but it didn't sell as well as before, and it seems the company wants to fix that. According to a report from The Bell, Samsung now plans to push the Galaxy Z Flip 8 much further by making it more than 10% slimmer and lighter. If the company hits the target, the Flip 8 could end up close to 12.3 millimeters when folded and around 169 grams, numbers that surprisingly place it near the size of the S25 Edge. This move aligns with Samsung's broader push for bigger foldable sales in 2026, with a goal of selling 6.7 million Z series units. That said, hardware won't be enough. The larger outer display wasn't really complemented by full cover screen support without a couple of hurdles, something the Moto Razr had fixed years ago. The hope is that One UI 9, expected to debut with next year's foldables, will unlock a more complete phone-like experience on the external panel. If Samsung delivers both the slimmer design and the more capable software experience, the Flip 8 could be the biggest leap to the series in years. I'm curious to know if you would want to see all that in the comments. When it comes to Apple, it seems things are going both good and bad depending on who you ask. On one end, the leaker that coined the iPhone 16e name a few months ago before the announcement is already saying that sales performance is not doing well, which contradicts previous reports that it was going great, better than expected. He's saying the same about the iPhone Air, but then comes back claiming that Apple is still on track to bring the 17e and also the Air 2. We're not exactly sure what changes to expect on the 17e, but we have heard that the iPhone Air 2 might launch with a secondary camera just to make the price point a bit more enticing for the device. I think the bigger story is actually coming with the 18 Pro models. The 17 Pro is already enjoying what seems to be a 22% boost in sales in markets like China, and that's on the first month alone. Reports claim that the iPhone 18 Pro might include two interesting changes. The first is a ceramic shield tube back that actually matches the color of the aluminum. Because yeah, the current two-tone approach has polarized a few people, even if I will admit that I do like it. Second is that we hear that these models will be even thicker than the 17 Pro series in order to accommodate an even bigger battery, which is definitely welcomed. Curious to know if you care about these changes in the comments. Now, before we get to the hottest news, let me tell you about today's sponsor, MediaTek. Not sure if you saw some of the recent photos I posted with the Oppo Find X9 Pro and its Hasselblad teleconverter. They're some of the best photos I've taken from any phone, and don't even get me started with its video capabilities. A lot of the legwork comes thanks to MediaTek's new Dimensity 9500. This is the company's third-generation all-big-core architecture, which enables some of the best performance you'll see from any flagship, now with AI enhancements in its 5G connectivity, Wi-Fi 7 gaming, and which include photos and video from its new Imagic 1190 ISP. It's the reason companies like Oppo trust MediaTek with its best experiences. Thanks to MediaTek for sponsoring this video. And finally, for the hottest news today, let's talk Samsung one more time and how competition has affected its decision-making. Reports from Korea claim that a lot of the Galaxy S26 roadmap that we heard about, with a Pro model, with a larger display and larger battery, actually got canned because some Apple rumors didn't end up happening. If you remember, it was reported that the iPhone 17 series was gonna get more expensive, and since it did not, Samsung had to change course in order to not make its Galaxy S26 series more expensive. So yeah, this includes a slightly thicker 8.24mm Galaxy S26 with a 4300 mAh battery. The same report claims that the S26 Plus won't change nearly in anything compared to the S25 Plus, which, yeah, is controversial for sure. That being said, where we hear the changes will concentrate is in the Ultra. One more time, we hear it'll get slightly thinner by 0.3mm, though any of you wishing for a larger battery, nope. 5,000 mAh for like the 6th year in a row. And then we got some added confirmation on the Flex Magic Pixel technology on the display in order to enable added privacy for others peeking at what you're doing. We're not sure if this will remove the anti-reflective coating, but we sure hope it doesn't. We didn't hear anything about the possible update of the Edge model though, so we'll keep you posted on that. In today's question, let me know. How much do you care about the base Galaxy S26 and S26 Plus? Because in my case, I focus mostly on the Ultra or the Edge now that I like it a lot. I'm hoping it does make a comeback, but that's just me. I'm curious to know what you prefer in the comments. Friends, thank you so much for joining on another episode of Tech Briefing. Please like, subscribe, and join the conversation in the comments, as I'm sure you've seen me try to respond to as many as I can. Also, follow me on social media as more behind-the-scene work continues to happen there. By the way, quick reminder, episode 2 of our Technically There podcast with Josh is scheduled for tomorrow morning, so keep an eye out. Would love to see you there and get your feedback there as well. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.